Throughout history, there are already people telling each other, you won't achieve anything, and you'll never become someone great.
You see, people who try to be negative have existed throughout history, trying to turn you down. And even though there are so many negative people, it has never stopped great people from being great.
People like Albert Einstein were put under constant pressure by Nazi Germany and was told he had no future by the Germans, but he escaped to America and became one of the greatest people who have ever lived.
Sometimes you won't be like Einstein. He was a national celebrity, and even though he was suppressed by the Germans in his early life, after fleeing to America, he was praised and he was known throughout the world.
Sometimes there are people like Sergei Korolev. He was the lead Soviet rocket engineer and is regarded by many as the father of practical astronomics. He also took part in designing the first satellite, Sputnik 1, that started a space race. On top of that, he designed the first liquid-fueled rocket for the USSR.
He also launched the first dog, Laika, into space.
Wow!
That's pretty cool.
For all the things you have achieved, you think he will be rewarded, or at least, very well no. The thing is, he isn't famous. He wasn't recognized at all. Because of how secretive the Soviet space program was, even the people who worked with him didn't know his name. They only know him as chief designer.
There is a statue of Sergei Korolev on the International Space Station right now. I don't think he could have ever imagined a statue of him would be in the heavens above.
It is clear that people like Sergei Korolev are great because of their achievement, but sometimes great people won't be praised. Rather, people can dislike them and be banished from society, only to be complimented after their death.
Another great example is the famous Ludwig van Beethoven. He was an extremely famous musician, both in a good and bad way.
During his lifetime, he was made fun of. This was because the legendary musician was deaf, and he had a bad temper that made his reputation even worse.
His bad temper wasn't from his personality, it was from the medicine he took. It had a lot of lead, which makes people grumpy, but it didn't stop him. When he released his beautiful pieces, slowly he became a known musician.
Let's look at the recipe for greatness. Well, you will need 2 born to the ideal parent eggs, 1 cup of in the right time at the right place sugar, 2 cups of natural tallow flour, and finally 2 teaspoons of greatness.
But where is greatness? No, well, it seems that we are out of greatness because it does not exist.
For a long time, I thought there were 2 types of people. Great people that know what they're doing, and people like me and you who are just wondering life, constantly failing at everything.
But now, I realize this model is useless and it's not true. Because these people do not exist. Now obviously, experts exist. You can't tell a coffee maker to fly a plane. But when it comes to wisdom and how to make yourself happy, no one really knows what they're doing.
And that's great, because that leaves infinite opportunities for art or innovation. And while you might have convinced yourself not to do anything groundbreaking because someone has done it better, whoever the greats are obviously had the same doubts, and they pushed through it.
The greats were intensely interested in something or devoted to something. While feeling lost all the time, a long period of confusion isn't a side effect of doing something very interesting. It's the price of admission.
Thanks for watching.